Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we are, another full episode of the Narrator podcast. Welcome all my narrators. Happy weekend, everyone. How's everybody doing on this great Saturday? Another full episode of the Narrator podcast. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. So I just want to take this time to say Happy Mother's Day to all mothers out there. That's one of the few greeting cards, holidays that I actually agree with. I think all mothers should definitely have their own holiday. I believe all fathers should have their own holiday as well. But, it doesn't have to be relegated to just your biological parents, whoever had a hand in raising you. Because some people don't have biological parents. Some people are adopted. Your uncle, your auntie, grandmother, whoever raised you, they definitely deserve all the honor, glory, and the praise tomorrow. Also, having said that, don't wait until it's too late to show them how much you appreciate them. Because the time here on this earth is limited. We're all limited in these little physical shells we inhabit. I mean, like, we are eternal. If you really want to break it down, we're eternal energy. So we never stop existing. We just exist in a different form. But while we're here on this physical plane, like, our time is limited. So don't ever miss the opportunity to let somebody they had a hand in your upbringing, your rearing, your development. Let them know you appreciate them, because there's a lot of people who lost their mother. Everybody celebrating Mother's Day, get to take their mom out for the Mother's Day brunch and all that, and spend some time with mother. There's people that don't have a mother anymore. I'm one of them. And that's like the worst feeling in the world, It's the best and the worst feeling, because first of all, when they leave here, it's a rest that they needed. But at the same time, that's a little hole in your soul. But anyway, just wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And to everybody listening, don't wait until it's too late, or even wait for Mother's Day to let your mother know she is appreciated. All right, so about to dive into this content. Welcome to the Narrator podcast, and I go by the name Hallzie Allen. Welcome all my narrators. About to dive into the content, but before I do that, we got to start off. I got to give a brief synopsis and overview of my content to, new listeners. My narrators, they already know the demonstration. They already know all my goals and everything I'm trying to accomplish in this space. They're already familiar with the content, so I'm going to just bring people that aren't up to speed on the content. So let's start at the top, the tippy, the narrative. So let's start at the tippy top, the narrative. So first of all, I named my podcast the Narrative Podcast because the media weaves a false narrative about original people and original culture. I'll get to the original part in a second. Basically, they portray us in the most negative light as possible. They make us appear a certain way. They do this because, to turn a profit, to sell news, Out of all the people on this planet, there's nobody more marketable than us. And like since the beginning, we just, are newsworthy, noteworthy. Like we're some interesting, fascinating people. But however, they don't want to play up all our strengths. They don't want to play up all the positivity in our communities. They only want to play up the negativity. They only want to play up the stereotypes. They only want to play up, all the stigmas and negative nuances we have within our culture. They never want to depict us, at our brightest, at our best. They just want to show us, in the dirt, living in depravity, in violence towards one another, being involved in amoral behavior and acting horribly. They also do it to market us a certain way to people outside of our culture, people who they are aligned up with. This is how the higher echelon stays the higher echelon. They want to paint themselves in a certain way and depict everybody else in a certain way. So basically it's, psychological warfare at its best. They want to sell this negative image of us to people outside of our culture, and then also implant negativity within us, make us view ourselves a certain way by the content that they're putting out about our people. So basically to get rich and to stay rich, this is how they get rich and stay rich, by marketing us a certain way, marketing us in a negative way. And that's how it's been done pretty much since the beginning of time, but definitely since the turn of the century. They profit immensely off of that, these negative stereotypes they generate and propagate about our people. So yeah, there you have it. That's why the Narrative podcast was born. I wanted to create and design a platform where I'm playing up our strengths and showing us in a positive light, and celebrating all our accomplishments and putting out positive frames of reference about our people and our culture. Now, the ultimate takeaway I want my listeners to gain from my content, if nothing else, is how important it is to spread positive content about our people and our culture on whatever platform that they occupy. Because, we're already being filmed through a dirty lens, so people outside of our culture, all they're giving about us is, the frames of reference that they're giving. And we're depicted negatively on television, in movies, in literature. That's all they have to, pull from about who we are as a people, is just, their images that they're giving, the images and the audio that they're giving about us. So, if we're, leaning into the stereotypes online, they're going to just take and run with that and take it as the gospel. So if we're always posting gang culture, gun culture, thought culture, whore culture, pimp culture, junkie culture, drug culture, that's what they're going to think about us as a people. That's what they're going to believe. So it's not about caring what they think about us. It's about just putting out, accurate information about us, because all the information circulating about us is warped, skewed, and inaccurate. And it's intentionally inaccurate. Like I just said, it's intentionally inaccurate. So we have to put it in perspective. This is why I call my audience my narrators, because we, living in the digital age, we have the ability to tell or narrate our own stories based on the content that we're posting online, because this is basically like how people judge you these days. You as a person, an individual, your beliefs, your value systems, you know, your truth is based, people's perception is based on what you're posting about you, is about what you're posting online, what you're into, hobbies, interests, etc. That's their interpretation of you as an individual. So, like I said, if we're always posting negativity, that's how we're going to get perceived. So, we want to post stories about entrepreneurialism, about excellence, about family structure, about moral behavior, about us, having a sense of community, acting with a sense of urgency, stories about unity, where we're coming together instead of always, being divided and separated. That's the stories we want to be posting, because another thing about that is, like, not only do the powers that be take and run with a negative narrative, a lot of these Fortune 500 companies that design clothes, that design these horrible or create these horrible television shows and movies depicting us in a negative light, they get a whole lot of their data, a whole lot of their research, their numbers, their statistics, based on what people are posting online. So, while we can't control what everybody's posting online, you can sure control what you're posting online. So, that's kind of a solution to it. So you can definitely be a narrator by posting something positive online. I know somebody in your family, somebody in your community is doing something positive. You might be doing something positive. Post that. Whether it's excelling academically, whether it's excelling professionally. Now I know, as far as the charity work, like good deeds, that's kind of a gray area, because you don't want to be bragging about doing charity work, but at the same time, we got to let people know that we give of ourselves and we take care of ourselves. So, like, we all in it together, especially here in America, because while our government does owe us reparations, it's up to us to take care of us. So we have to have strong visual images depicting that, us coming together as a community and unifying and standing in solidarity, not just in times of grief, in times of turmoil, in times of a tragedy, but like every single day, enjoying each other's company, showing us that we can peacefully cohabitate with one another, that we can raise our children, that we can be productive pillars of the community and of society. So we ought to put out them positive frames of reference. That's my ultimate takeaway. I want my listeners to gain from my content, if nothing else, is how important it is to post positive content about our people and our culture online, or whatever platform you occupy. Now, like I said, getting to the original part on this podcast, I refer to our people as original as opposed to black, because I believe in the power of words. And while the word black in early civilization, we originated written language and spoken language, over time it got warped and skewed, and the narrative got flipped by people outside of our culture, people did not look like us, because when we created the word black, it meant something respectable, it meant something powerful, it meant something regal, definitely meant something beautiful. But over time, powers that be, the masters at retelling history, took and just like defiled a great word and, attached like all this negativism behind it, especially like here in America. So like if you look at the word black in any dictionary, you will see all the negativity that's attached to it. And basically how it is in the dictionary is associated with death, dying, disease, lack, and the end of all things. A state of, depression, just all things negative is associated and linked with the word black in the English dictionary and in the English language. But, you go to that same dictionary and look up the word original. There's no negative connotation surrounding it. It basically just hints at the beginning, and in many cases the best. And I think that's, a better word to describe our people versus the word black, because it's so true to who we are as a people, because we were here 5,000 years before every single race on the planet, ethnicity, background, whatever, whoever. So like we originated the written word, we originated the spoken word, we originated architecture, building, we originated so many things. We're the original scholars, we're original, mathematicians, we're the original scientists. We created science and math. We're the original engineers. We were the original astrologists. We originated, religion and spirituality. So we was the original Christians, original Muslims, original, whatever, Buddhists, whatever. Like I said, we was here originally before pretty much everybody. And contrary to all unpopular belief, we was like inhabiting all corners of the globe originally. And we didn't get there by slave boats, transatlantic slave trade, chattel slavery. It was already originally located in pretty much every single corner of the globe. Like while slavery did happen and it was a real thing and it was a horrendous thing, it's just not the case for every single last one of us. It's not, especially here in the Americas. So that's where I get my, philosophy by referring to us as original versus black. I mean, if you're, you love referring to yourself as black and you love saying black and you believe black is beautiful and black, and black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm back, y'all. That's cool too. Do you. I'm not trying to tell people what to do. I'm just telling you what I do. And then another thing about the word original, it unifies us as a people because there are so many different types of us. We're all scattered out throughout the globe. We're all going with different pronouns. But original is like the tie that binds us, and unifies us. No matter where you're located at in the world, no matter what you refer to yourself as, if you're black, you're an original man or an original woman. So that's the tie that binds us all together, the word original. So you cannot, scientifically proven fact who's here first. So no matter if you're down in Australia, over in Canada, Germany, UK, Switzerland, like wherever, Finland, yeah, there's brothers and sisters, Finland, Ireland, Scotland, wherever, you're original. So that's my little philosophy on original. Now another thing about my platform, it is time sensitive. I try to keep all my podcasts to no longer than an hour. I try not to exceed 1 hour with the content. Reason being is because I want my message to flow. I want it to resonate. I want to hit all my marks. I don't want to just ramble, rant, and rave. I want to have actual, stopping and starting point. I want to have a nice, cohesive feel to it, and I want my message to be digestible. And you can't digest a message if you're just all over the place. So I've broken it down into sections. Each section has a speaking point, and I time each section. So I try not to spend longer than 10 minutes on each section. But sometimes, when I get passionate about something, it just is the way it is. And like a lot of these are, a little bit over an hour. But when I first started, I had no idea what I want to do, what I want to talk about, what type of message that I want to put out in the universe. And so like I would just hit, go and just start going in about whatever topic. And as a result, I didn't have a listening audience. I was just like paying for the service for nothing. But not that I'm in it for the money anyway. I believe I'm doing a service for the people, being in the space that I'm occupying. But yeah, so I was just like floating around in digital space, just floating around there. Now I have when I took a step back and examined my content, I just jotted down on a piece of paper what I want to do, what I'm trying to say, and just incorporated the KISS formula. Keep it simple, silly, because you don't have to use all these, fancy buzzwords and big long vocabulary words. You can just get to the point, what you're trying to say, and give the message to the people, and they can get what they can get out of it. And that's what I want to do. I want to make my brand of consciousness practical and accessible, and like you don't have to clear your whole entire schedule to catch up on any episodes that you might have missed, and just listen to it at your leisure and apply it at your leisure. So the best way to do that is just like keep it streamlined, keep it simple, and keep it flowing. So that's why I broke my podcast down into sections. And another thing, before I dive into the content, I'm a gossip-free zone. I don't engage in gossip. I don't do the rumors. I try to, use this space to uplift and edify my people, not kick dirt on their names, not insinuate things, especially things that aren't, substantiated. There's no, it hasn't been, proven to be a fact. It hasn't been confirmed or denied, if it's people are just saying stuff. So, that's the worst thing ever, I think, in my opinion, when journalists do that. When they reporting something, they say allegedly. Like, if you don't know for sure, then why are you even, covering the topic? So, that's just my perspective on it, why I don't gossip. Now, if I bring up a famous person's name, it's not the clout chase. It's really just to, meant to be in place as a building block for a point that I'm trying to make. I really kind of center everything. I structure everything about my, this podcast, the content about the powers that be, how to use, false information and propaganda to manipulate us and turn us against each other. So, like, if I bring up any famous person's names, like, that's basically what I'm setting my point up for. Not to, like, kick dirt in their name or insinuate something or, try to, like, make them look or sound bad in any way. But now, having said that, what I will do is if somebody that has a polarizing platform is doing something or saying something that got us all looking bad as a people, I will, speak out on that, and I have spoken out on that. But other than that, I don't like use my platform to talk bad about people or, engage in any like stuff like that. Now, I do got a sense of humor. I might joke on something, but it's nothing never mean spirited. Like, might do a little impression here and there, but nothing like just like mean spirited, nothing like playing in the gossip and playing in the rumors. So I don't do that on my platform. All right, so now that you got a gist of the overall Narrator podcast experience, I'm going to dive into the content right now. So up first, my first section of the Narrator podcast is my promo section. In this section, what I'm doing is offering original people to operate their own business or have a product or service that they would like promoted to, hit me up, and I gladly promote, whatever it is that you're selling. Is with my great anticipation that people that reach out to me, business owners or people that have their own product or service, that reach out to me are people, that, take care of the community that they're rooted in. So that'd be an honor and a privilege for me to do my part to help grow and expand their business, being secure in the knowledge, knowing that they're going to hire some people from their community that needs a job, take care of their community's needs, like elderly people, our children, anybody in need, offering, vocational training or, some financial literacy or whatever, either have your own nonprofit organization or pay into one, be some type of, help to, the community, be some type of help to the cause. It'll be my honor and privilege to, promote whatever it is you got going on. So, in order to get the free, and like I promote for free, I'm not charging any money. Because like I said, I just want to do my part in aiding the circulation of the original people dollar within the original people community. Because as I said earlier, we are due, reparations. And until we get it, it's up to all of us to do for self and promote one another, patronize existing businesses and promote existing businesses, period. Because that's the only way we're going to survive. So if you don't have the financial means to support it, at least be using your online presence or your platform, whatever platform you occupy, to promote, a business. But having said that, here we go with the promotional section. If you need or like some free promotion, hit me up, Hallzie Allen, at passionwebmail at poeticpassion.host. Subject bar, type the word promo, and in the body of the email, include everything you want me to know about your business, product, or service. Be specific as possible. The more specific you are, the better the promotional drop will be for you. So I can include things like, if you got a physical address of your business, I can give out, the address. I can give out, you know, all the details about the business. Do you rent your space out as well as, run a business, hours of operations, directions, and all that. If you got an online business, be sure to include any special promotional deals you got going on, promo codes. The best way to get in touch with you, any special ordering directions you might have for a person to order something online from you, like any specific details they need to know. Just be specific as possible. Also, include a little bio about yourself, because people, consumers want to know that. Consumers want some type of interpersonal relationship with the person that they're purchasing a good or a service from. That's just, retail 101. All right. So there it is. Promo section on the Narrative podcast. If you need or like free promotion, hit me up at passion webmail at porterpassion.host in the subject bar. Type promo. Body of the email. Be specific as possible about whatever, your business, product, or service, and I will gladly promote it right here on my platform, the Narrator Podcast, for 110% free. Now, on to the next section. This section is the contest section, and I'm running a special contest for my podcast, the Narrator Podcast. This is basically just like it's incentive / listener participation, crowd interaction, trying to interact with my audience by giving them the opportunity to reach out to me and earn a prize. And the prize that I'm giving away is a bulk supply of your favorite snack. This is showing me who's actually listening to me, and, my demographic and all that, like by the people that reach out to me. And it's free. Of course, the contest is free. All you have to do is hit me up at the exact same email address that I just gave for the free promotion. The only difference is I'm separating them by the subject bars. So when the message comes in for the contest, and the name of the contest is called the Chew On This contest. So to enter the Chew On This contest, you hit me up at the exact same email address that I just gave for, damn, them little motherfuckers are vicious. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. Yeah, sorry about that. And I know I'm not going to be able to edit that out. That was just super random, something just walked past me, by me. But anyway, back to what I was saying. The name of the contest is called the Chew On This contest. And to enter, all you have to do is hit me up at passionwebmail at porterpassion.host, and in the subject bar, type Chew On This / or dash shopping while black, because that's the topic for the contest. If you don't want to type the entire word shopping while black, you can type SWB in all caps. In the body of the email, include your shopping while black experience, your most recent shopping while black experience, your mailing address so I know where to send the prize to, and then tell me what type of snack you would like, and I'll send it to you. For free, not charging any money. I get that to you ASAP. So, enter the contest. You don't have nothing to lose. It's completely free. I don't want nothing from you. I ain't trying to get nothing from you. I'm trying to give you something. So hit me up at passionwebmail@porterpassion.host. Subject bar, type, chew on this, /or - shopping while black, or SWB in all caps. Body of the email, include your most recent shopping while black experience, your mailing address, and then what type of snack would you like, and I'll get that to you ASAP. Alright, so that does it for those two sections, and on to the main event. This is kind of the core of, what I'm doing here on my platform. This is the highlight section. The highlight section is basically designed to share the positive frame of reference about our people, particularly in the area of entrepreneurialism, because we don't see or hear a lot of good frames of reference about entrepreneurialism, doing for self. The very few little television shows we have about entrepreneurialism is like, so convoluted with violence. You're not focusing in on that fact. You're only focusing on the dysfunction. You're focusing on, cast members arguing with each other, fighting each other, physically fighting each other, or just engaging in some type of buffoonery or silliness. So you forget what the show is even all about at the end of the day. So in this section, what I'm doing is I'm just celebrating, I'm highlighting and showcasing entrepreneurs that created a product or a service from scratch. They're regular 9-to-5 people, was working, most of them 9-to-5 jobs. They want to do something different with their lives, so they want to start a business. And people that I feature in the highlights section, they started from the bottom, meaning they didn't have, sufficient financial means to start a business, sufficient education or previous work experience in that field, of the business that they started. But somehow they found a way to make it work. They was passionate about it. They dug deep, followed their dream, and followed through with it and manifested it into reality, triumphing in the face of adversity. Another thing that I'm trying to do in this section, I'm trying to walk you through their whole journey, like how they started it, what year they established it, how they came up with the name, obstacles they encountered along the way, how they acquired their funds, their starter funds, how they came up with the name for their product or service. Does it hold any significance? Does the product name hold any type of special significance? More important factors, they hire their own. Most of them are family owned and operated. So I'm giving you the positive frame of reference about generational wealth. They're keeping it in the family. They're doing for the community. Most of the businesses I highlight in the highlight section either have their own nonprofit organization or they pay into one. And like I said, they're doing for self. They didn't ask for help. Whatever team they had assembled helping them along the process, that's what they use. Now, a few of them, they did have outside investors, but primarily the type of businesses that I try to highlight in the highlight section is original people owned and operated, aka black owned, from the top to the bottom. That's the people I try to highlight. Some other qualifying factors, like I said, they hire their own. They either have their own nonprofit or organization, or they pay into one. They do things for the community events, do some type of outreach with their business, product, or service. And then lastly, the last qualifying factor here in the highlight section, it lines up with my theme. And my current theme is the season of spring. So, something I mentally associate their product with the season of spring. So now that you got a gist of what the highlight section is about, let's dive into it, shall we? So this week in the highlight section on the Narrator podcast, it is the season of spring. And the first thing I think about around springtime, because I live in a four-season state, and the weather starts getting nicer around this time of year. This is late spring, so like summer's right around the corner. We only got a few short weeks till summer, till June. And so like one of the first things that lets me know if summer's on the way around on nice, super duper nice days, you will notice eyewear, shades. Like people start buying, shades around this time of year to prepare to gear up for the summer, especially like if you take spring road trips, travel to someplace sunny, super sunny, like if you're living in the Midwest or up north, you're going to want you some eyewear when you get to someplace down south, like Miami like Florida, like Miami's a city, but you know what I'm saying, like Florida or Texas or wherever if you're traveling in the States, Cali, that's out west, nice and sunny, but you all want some like nice eyewear, some nice shades. And so those are the businesses that I'll be highlighting in the highlight section today. Is original people owned and operated shades or eyewear. So the first business I'll be highlighting in the highlight section on the Narrator podcast today will be Shades of Shades. And the business proprietor's name is a one Miss Marsha Douglas Cedar, Sydor. So forgive me if I mispronounce the last name. And you can go look for her product on shadesofshades.com. She established the business in 2019. Her idea literally came through tragedy. She was on the verge of a full-on brain aneurysm. She didn't know whether she was going to live or die. She was in the hospital. She had a brain tumor. And as she was in the hospital, undergoing preparation to, have the tumor removed, she began drafting her business plan. She had always, liked eye apparel. She liked sunglasses. She would always talk with her friends, what type of business would she like to go in and encounter. She was like, I would like to sell sunglasses. And so, when death's on your door, that makes you think right away, I might not make it through this. So she decided to act out on her dreams in the hospital. She drafted her business plan. Obviously, the surgery was a complete success. She's alive and well today, has a very successful brand. There wasn't much information. I didn't find any interviews about where she got the funding from and, all throughout her journey. But essentially, she started it. Shades of Shades is a very successful brand. So yeah, get up, go support, go online right now, support that sister, Marsha Douglas Cedar, Shades of Shades, go to shadesofshades.com and look through their product selection and see if you find something you like. But definitely support the business. Give a warm narrative podcast round of applause for our sister Marsha Douglas Cedar and her product Shades of Shades. All right, moving on. Now this next business is called Third Eye View, and the founders' names are Karina and Brianna Dotson, or affectionately what they refer to themselves as Coco and Breezy. They also have another product line named after themselves, Coco and Breezy. They're also, social media influencers. They're heavy on, social media, super active on Instagram and TikTok. Basically, their most, they got their biggest, they're really high into esoteric, that lifestyle, vibration and all that. They're super into that. How they got their big break, they got an endorsement from Prince, who just happens to be, from their hometown in Minneapolis, I think. I might have to fact check myself, but he definitely endorsed their product. And their first shades that they designed was Prince's iconic 3 lens shades, like 2 on his eyes and 1 in the middle of his forehead. I don't know what magazine cover he was on wearing them, but that was pretty much their kickoff. And then once they got his advertisement, everything just fell in place for him. They've always, as children, been into fashion. Just wanted to be different. They was just trendsetters in their younger days, just always trying to create styles, trying to set themselves apart from everybody else fashion-wise. I guess the term is fashion forward. Both of them have always been fashion forward. And remarkably, they also do a lot for the community. They're partnered with several different business partners, several different people to help them. They got their own nonprofit organization called On-Site Program. Get it? It's a play on words, sight seeing, because they sell eyewear. But the program is basically about getting vision tests, visual health for, I hate this term, but underserved communities. Make sure their ocular health is in good shape, like our vision, taking vision tests and all that, and educating people about how to take care of their eyes and, keeping perfect eyesight. They got a sister brand called Odie plus Aura, and those are unisex shades. So their whole concept behind their brand, I think I already said, I might have skipped over it. They're paying homage to the esoteric concept, the whole manifestation thing. They're super heavy into that. You can go and to their homepage to read more about that. But definitely go support their brand, Third Eye View by Coco and Breezy. Give a warm narrative round of applause for Third Eye View and the sisters Coco and Breezy Dotson. All right, on to the next session, keeping it moving. Now, I know for a fact I'm going to probably mispronounce the product and definitely um, the business proprietors' names. They are from Ghana, so just bear with me. I'll spell it. So the product is called Boten, Bohten. Proprietors' names are Nana, Bote, Asi, Nana, Bote, Boateg, Ose, Osie, and Quodo Asi, Kwodo Asi. So basically, their eyewear, she developed that to basically employ the youth of Ghana. She's an advocate for environmental sustainability. She wants to educate and employ the youth of Ghana. That's what her entire brand is dedicated towards. The frames of their shades are all original, African concepts, African artwork. So basically, essentially, when you buy some shades from that company, you're purchasing artwork for your eyes. It's like all African concepts behind it. So there's like a story, some type of tribal significance behind each piece. So you can also learn about the tribes of Africa too, because every frame set tells a different story. So definitely go check them out. They are supporting, they're giving back, they're hiring the youth, and just because it's not in America doesn't mean we can't support it, because we can. Like dominant society always tells us over and over again, if you don't like it, if you hate it here so much, then go back. Like, well, first of all, who was already here, most of us. Like, that's first of all. But, going back, especially with this new currency developing in South Africa, that might not be such a bad idea. But definitely go online, support Boten, Nana and Quado, Osi, and Boten. Oh yeah, and it's Boten.com. And pick you up a pair today. Nana and Quodo Osi with Boten. Give a warm narrative podcast. Round of applause for those sisters and their brand. Go support. All right, and then since I'm talking about support, you can support a brother with a free platform. I'm not charging no money. I ain't got no what do you call it? The Patreon. I don't got one of those yet. But you got to feed the messenger. So if you can, download this episode and our previously recorded episodes of the Narrator Podcast, as well as like and share them on all your favorite platforms. That'll be a very big help to your brother. All right. Keeping it rolling, keeping it moving, on to the next section of the Narrator Podcast. This is the Spotlight section. In this section, what I'm doing is creating the healthy habit of saying something nice about your brother or your sister Instead of always using your online platforms to slander, denigrate, sling mud, air dirty laundry about your brother and sister, um, you can actually use your platform to uplift and edify your brother and sister. Do something helpful instead of something harmful. Because we get attacked from all sides by people outside of our culture. From every other culture we are getting attacked from. The last thing we need to do is be online attacking each other. So that's what, the spotlight is indicative of. It's basically giving someone their roses while they're here. Just primarily in my spotlight section on the Narrative podcast is basically like people in the entertainment industry, such as actors, such as athletes, such as online influencers, public figures, recording artists, comedians, writers, producers, athletes, religious leaders. Speaking of religious leaders, happy belated birthday to the Honorable Louis Minister Farrakhan, who just, recently turned 90 years young and still going strong. So, happy born day to that, brother. Now, just to point out some irony right quick before I finish with the spotlight, it's just kind of ironic to me that another iconic brother in that movement, Brother Minister Malcolm X, God rest his soul, had once, delivered a speech about entertainers. We're always looking up to entertainers to, be the voice for our people. Like, we're the only people we don't have like just great people, like just regular teachers and regular whatever. I'm just paraphrasing the speech, but I find it ironic that an entertainer rose through the ranks of the same organization he was in a part of. Because Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, used to be in a calypso band and was affluent in Hollywood and, wrote many songs and did all kinds of stuff in Hollywood. But he's, arguably one of the most effective leaders of our time. We got like less than 40. He's one of them. If he goes, it's going to be a sad day, because as a people, we are like severely lacking in the leadership department. It's going to be a bittersweet, because when that time comes, it's like he had a long road. He gave us so much. So when, that day finally does come, we'll just only be weeping tears of joy, because every single day that he's above ground, he's in pain. And he's in pain for all of us. He's suffering for us, because like he supposed to have been home like 5-10 years ago. He's literally here for us. So we got to get our act together. He's suffering for us right now. Self-included. Anytime I say us on my platform, I mean me too. I probably mean especially me. Actually, when I say us, especially me. But anyway, I digress from all that. On to the spotlight section. Getting to get into it. So, spotlight section is designed to uplift and edify, give our brothers and sisters that occupy these polarizing platforms their just dues. Their roses while they're here. Basically, anybody I give the spotlight to on the Narrative podcast, like I said, respectfully is an entertainer of all those genres I just named. Not only that, that they use their platforms to uplift and edify us. They give back to the community, you know, services to the less fortunate, like literally feed the community, do some type of charity work, some type of social activism, some type of political activism, you know, advocating for something, using their voice in a positive way, definitely on their platform, speaking unapologetically to our cause. I call it the cause, I don't call it the plight, because like I said, I believe in the power of words. Words manifest into things, so whenever we got to get away from calling it the struggle. Because if we keep calling it the struggle, that's exactly what we're going to keep doing. We're going to keep struggling. So yeah, but definitely, you know, those are the types of people that I honor in the spotlight section here on the Narrator podcast. People that give back, give themselves, you know, give of themselves to, you know, all kinds of capacity, just being a servant of the people and just, you know, championing the cause, speaking unapologetically on our issues, or if none of those apply, just the way they physically, you know, out in the eye of the camera, the way they physically carry and conduct themselves to give us that positive self-image, because image is everything. Image is everything. The way we appear says a lot, especially here in the digital space, because like I said, the powers that be will use those images to, you know, their own advantage, and their own advantage is usually to our disadvantage. So yeah. But anyway, before I dive into the spotlight section, I want to always point this out. I created the way for spotlighting, because before I added the spotlight section to my podcast, the Narrator podcast, nobody anywhere, nobody was spotlighting anybody. But now all of a sudden everybody got a spotlight section. Everybody, every time they're having a guest. Today, we're spotlight on this person, so and so, and such and such. So don't tell me my platform's not growing. Don't tell me I'm not making waves just because the stats don't reflect it. Somebody's paying attention. And when you're online, if you're posting content, somebody's paying attention to you, even if your stats might not be reflecting it. Believe me, you got a following whether you know it or not. Somebody's following. And so I'm not mad at it. I don't care about receiving my just dues, because the whole point of creating the spotlight, like I said, was to create the healthy habit of us saying something nice about each other online, or, you know, on podcasts, in interviews, instead of always, you know, coming with lowbrow insults and, you know, hurling, you know, airing out dirty laundry and messiness online. So I just want to create the healthy habit of us celebrating each other rather than us, you know, going at each other's necks. So, yeah, I got to give it up for myself.
You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Hallzie Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
You better know it. So anyway, it is my extreme pleasure, and when I say extreme, I mean extreme, because I am an extreme fan of this young brother. I've been following him for quite a minute now. I'm subscribed to his YouTube channel. He first came across, like, I don't know what group I was following, but came through my Facebook feed. Excuse me, I said YouTube. Facebook feed. One of his videos. So he's like a TikTok, superstar on TikTok, just breaking TikTok right now with his videos. And he's kind of indicative of what I do here on my platform. My mission statement, which is to try to get people to understand the importance of posting positive content about your people and your culture. And this young brother that I'm spotlighting today is sharp as a razor. Like, his intellect is like, he's at Omega level 50 with his intellect. He's an educator, bona fide, certified educator. His vernacular is just like out of this world. As high range as his vocabulary is, he still makes it digestible. His message digestible for the people, makes his message practical and applicable. And he's always championing for the cause, using his platform to champion for the cause. And most importantly, he's living proof, actual, factual, certified, documented proof that you can be positive online and still earn money. Like, we don't always have to engage in ratchetness. We don't always have to engage in calling each other names and belittling each other and coming up with gossip and rumors and, arguing or debating. Like, for those that like to debate ain't nothing but an argument. So, like, he ain't never been in no heated debates with nobody yet. But we don't have to, like, engage in the foolishness. He's living proof that you don't have to engage in the foolishness to earn a decent bag online. Like, you can use your platform for something positive and still get the subscribers, still get the views. You don't have to, like, if you're a female, you don't have to show your whole naked body to get views and stuff. You can be positive. For the brothers, you living proof you ain't gotta, do these dumb, like, just buffoonish skits and tote firearms and, have a table full of drugs. Like, you don't gotta do all that. You ain't gotta be in videos talk about gang to garner a profit online. He's living proof of this. I'm so, like, I'm like, well, first of all, let me back it up, catch myself, because I almost went fanboy for a second. I am a fan, but I ain't trying to go fanboy. Like, I just wanted to clarify something about the spotlight section. People that I spotlight, I don't believe that they're perfect in every way. Like, I know they're human beings. I know they make mistakes. So I don't want to ever, like, convey the message to try to tailor your life based on, what worked for them. Because none of us perfect, but, this brother here that I'm about to spotlight, he definitely is a breath of fresh air, and he's definitely what's needed online to represent us. He's an embodiment of intellectual, the original man and woman intellectual. He has so many degrees and pedigrees and training. I can go on and on, but, like, I'm going to just dive right into it. So today, the brother I will be spotlighting is Consciousness Lee, or in some circles, just Conscious Lee. So he's born in 1990, grew up in Texas, Byron, Texas. He's a former educator, He got so many, like, I'll be like 20 minutes going over all the accolades he got as an educator. Like, the brother is just razor sharp smart. Not only book educated, but street educated too, because he's straight from Texas. He's like that. You know, if you watch his video, he's like that. So don't ever get it twisted. Like he's a certified, college professor. Like, as far as being intellectual, he's all for our people, especially for our children. Because he's an educator, so he breaks down content. Challenges your brain. He has content to challenge your brain, to make you think, like literally think, something we don't do these days. My mom, when she was alive, God rest her soul, she used to tell me all the time, you would be so dangerous if you just use your brain and think. You would be unstoppable if you think. But that brother is definitely a living embodiment and a testament to that thinking. So the thing I most enjoy about him is like educating. He educates and enlightens people. He uses his platform to educate and enlighten people, especially like Caucasian people. Especially the ones that say, I'm not racist, I have black friends, and they get online and they post some content they clearly didn't, consult their quote unquote black friends before they posted it, and they're not even hearing themselves being racist by the stuff that they're saying. So he sheds a light on that. He breaks it down. Those type of videos breaks it down, the context on what they're saying, the severity and how they're saying it, how the message came out, and makes it known, makes the unknown known. That's what I appreciate and love about this brother, and I'ma definitely, support in any way I can, anything you got going on, because we need like more brothers like that online. Like, we have them, we definitely have them, but it's scattered and you rarely hear about him. But this brother is like a social media phenom. He just like napalm bombed TikTok, napalm bombed Instagram, and like it's in a good way, because he's coming with the consciousness. He's educating the people, enlightening the people, giving them the tools that they need to raise up out the situation that they're in, and also to be there to as a beacon to just be there to let you know you're not tripping. Like, this is real. They're really trying it with you. You're not imagining the things that's going on. You're not just reaching for something. Like, you're not reaching. Like, some of us do be reaching. We want to blame the Caucasian man for everything, but he uses his platform to let you know, like, it's real out here. They're not imagining it. Yeah, they are trying it. Yes, they did say that. That's what, they're saying that with this particular message. Like, you're not in the dream world. You're witnessing this. So he's a living testament to that you're not crazy, that you're not imagining it, that you're not reaching. Like, yeah, they really are. It's really like that. So that's what I admire about that brother. Definitely, stamp certified, bona fide educator, cares about the people, is being the change. I think he also is a co-host on a podcast. Let me check my notes. He's a co-host on the Chop It Up podcast. Go support that. Support all his projects. Go look for him online, Consciously, YouTube, Instagram. Follow him wherever he's at, because you're going to get a good message. You're going to get something digestible. You're going to get something you can apply to your everyday life. You're going to get some intellect. He's going to inject you with some knowledge. And like I said, he makes his knowledge practical and applicable. So while he is highly, intelligent, he breaks it down, his intelligence on a granular level that everybody, no matter, what your learning is, what your degree of learning is, whether you're, on the same field as him or, you're lacking. You can keep up with his videos. He considers people like that. And a lot of content creators in the conscious community don't consider their brothers and sisters that, are lacking with, cognitive skills. And then in their videos that they post, they point at the problem that brothers ain't reading, but then they're not giving them and arming them with nothing to read, making them feel worse that they don't know how to read, or worse that they don't read. And sometimes brothers can read, but just elect not to, for whatever reason. I don't know why you wouldn't. Like, it's free. You might as well. Like, you can go anywhere. You can, literally, remember that show, Reading Rainbow? You can literally go anywhere. The lyrics to Reading Rainbow. You can, reading is a form of escapism. You can change the scenery all around you with reading, but, for some people, that's a challenge. But that brother right there, the way he puts his content out there, he helps people lacking in that area rise to the challenge, makes them want to learn something. So, definitely super positive brother, super smart, dynamic, intelligent, all that. Follow him, man. Follow him. Blow his page up. Support everything. If he got a Patreon, if he got the bread to donate to his Patreon, if he got one, I doubt he needs one, but if he got anything, if it's actually him, if it's actually a legit page, donate to it, because it's going to go to a charitable cause. It's going to go back to the community. He's helping people out here in these streets. He's helping people with the knowledge, for real. He's a solid brother. So I'm going to put a pin in it right there, because I'll be another 20-30 minutes just being in awe of everything he's doing at under the age of 40. He ain't even 40 yet. And just is a giant out there in these digital streets. So give it up. Warm Narrative Podcast. Round of applause for our brother, Consciousness Lee. Or Consciously, depending on, he knows. All right, on to the next section of the Narrator Podcast. This is the health and wellness section. In this section, what I'm doing is I'm talking to my listeners, my people. First and foremost, do this quick little disclaimer. All my content, anybody's free to listen to. I don't discriminate against nobody, but just know all my content is directed and aimed at my people, original people, aka Black. It's for us, so we are all the same, but then we're all not the same. It's especially in religion, they say we are God's children. We're all created equally, but biologically, no, we're not. Biologically, we are different. I can tolerate, on a biological level, things you cannot tolerate. While, like, sunlight works against you, you peel and you flake. When exposed to too much sunlight, might even develop some type of cancer. When exposed to too much sunlight, when I'm in the sunlight, I thrive and get stronger. My hair get longer. My skin becomes clearer with the more sunlight that I'm exposed to. Certain, differences culturally, while some foods nourish me, they can destroy you. Some foods that nourish you can destroy me. So having said that, we are not all the same. And things you will hear in the health and wellness section are geared towards my people. Because we're not the same. And the reason why I'm doing the health and wellness section to begin with is because my people are being attacked in multiple areas. And the health and wellness section is designed to armor up and stay healthy in all the areas that we're being attacked. What are the areas that you're being attacked, Hallzie? We're being attacked mentally. We're being attacked spiritually and physically. We're also being attacked financially, but I don't give out financial advice in the health and wellness section because my focal point is health is wealth. So you got to stay armored up in those areas, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So what type of content you will hear here in the health and wellness section on the Narrator podcast? Diet-wise, on the physical side, diet-wise, you might hear something like the health tips of a fruit, vegetable, herb extract, elixir, root, something that will help you maintain your vitality by eating it or ingesting it or applying it topically. On the physical side, some type of physical exercise you can do to maintain a healthy, active, fit lifestyle. Mentally, to keep your mental health up, things you can do such as, de-stressors, such as meditation or mindful breathing or mindfulness. Spiritually, praying, meditating, fasting. And every once in a blue moon, I'll throw a curveball, something metaphysical or esoteric in there. But yes, we are definitely lacking in all those areas. We're definitely being attacked in all those areas. It's not like a conspiracy theory. It's a reality. And if you don't believe a reality, you are delusional at this point. They're putting things in our food, in our air, in our water, daily products that we use every single day, like personal hygiene products, things we clean our house with, our living space with, our bodies with. They're intentionally putting harmful things that affect our unique genetic makeup, that attack our cellular structure, that attack us on a cellular level. And then not to mention what they're doing with the media on the mental side of it, programming us and conditioning us, bombarding us with all this negativity, weakening our immune systems, trying to overload, our brains with all this negativity. So yeah, we're getting attacked on all fronts with the health and wellness section. What I'm doing is just giving tips to stay armored up in all the areas that we're being attacked. So yeah, diving right into the health and wellness tip of this week here on the Narrator podcast: health benefits of swimming. Now swimming, I think I had covered it on a live. My sister had started an organization where she wanted to, help our people get over their fear of water, of swimming, because there are so many of us that cannot swim. And for those that do not know how to swim, Learn how to swim immediately. Swimming is a life skill, especially if you have children. Like if your child, you know, wanders in the water, what you gonna do? You gonna watch your child drown, or you gonna go in there after him, or wait for somebody else to save your child because you can't swim? So learn how to swim, not just to save your own life, but to save a life. It might be a child or just somebody, that falls in the water. You need to learn how to swim. You ain't got to be a super duper strong swimmer. At the very least, you need to know how to tread water. Another thing about water, when it comes to our people, spirits of the ancestors, they're in the water. You're going to be alright. You're not going to drown. Another thing about water kind of detects energy. It's an energy detector. You want to know, like some people don't believe in the spiritual realm, you want to know the presence of a spirit. Pour you a glass of water, set it on a surface like a table or whatever room you're in, and just watch the water. Like if there's an entity in there, the water will instantly become cloudy. You will see movement in the water if there's somebody in that room other than yourself. But anyway, back to swimming. See, I stuck in something esoteric in there. I told you I give tips. Swimming. So the health benefits of swimming. First of all, it's an all body workout. So you're working all your major muscle groups. Swimming helps with the circulation, your blood flow. It strengthens your core. It burns fat. It builds muscle. It helps, with your flexibility. So you can actually repair damaged tissue by swimming because it's a low impact exercise. You're not putting any strain on the body when you're swimming. This is why people, often they have like rheumatoid arthritis or who are, severely overweight or obese. It's often, for them to swim because, you can't start in the gym if you're like on a 600-pound diet. If you're like confined to a bed, you might want to start off in the water. You're swimming, you're slowly conditioning all your muscles in the body. You're giving them time to repair themselves. You're gaining strength. Like weight, people that lift weights, they'll tell you, somebody's active in the gym, they'll tell you that's the quickest way to build definition. Like if you're trying to body sculpt, you will get that definition, you will get them lines, them contours, them lines, those veins, all that. You can acquire all that by swimming. You also build up your lung capacity. You'll be able to breathe better when you're swimming. Your lung capacity will increase. So very good. Like I said, it's an all body workout. So great for cardio, especially if you swim laps. It's not too much it's not good for. And water is all around us. You don't have to just be in the swimming pool. You can go to a lake or a pond. Depending on what city you are, you might want to be highly selective because they put garbage in those places now. But ponds, streams, rivers, we're all around the water. But you definitely want to get your swim on. It's an all body workout. You're not going to get sweaty swimming. Only workout gear you need is your bathing suit, and you're going to develop that muscle tone really quickly. You're going to burn some fat. You're going to get that definition if you're looking for it. If you're trying to sculpt and build, trying to sculpt muscle as well as build some muscle. You're going to get some highly defined muscle swimming. Yeah. Swimming also helps you develop your endurance and stamina. So, like, you can walk farther distances, run farther distances. Fellas, last longer in bed. I'm just saying, like, I wasn't trying to be nasty. That's just one of the benefits for swimming. But definitely, if you have access to a pool or some water where you can swim, especially now in the summer, you want to try to at least do 5 laps a day, 2 to 5 laps a day. And as you get, your resistance, maybe 10 to 20 for an all body workout, 20 laps in the pool. And not to mention, just swimming is just fun. It's just clean fun. It's like you're so at peace. Swimming is also good for your mental health because it ain't nothing but you in the water. And that's all you're hearing is a splashing sound, how good the water feels on your body. Like, swimming is peaceful. It helps you create peace. So that'd be it for my health and wellness tip today for swimming. That's all I got on swimming, but definitely try to swim today or any day, anytime you get some free time, anytime you have access to, a body of water that you can actually swim in, swim. All right. Next section is my speaking points of the day. My speaking point of the day is really just like current or breaking news, something globally around the world that involves everybody, or or just something specifically in our community. But the way I cover my speaking point of the day or the breaking news, it's just I cover it from our perspective, how it pertains to us, how it relates to us. And the purpose of me doing the speaking point of the day is basically in this section, I'm controlling the narrative. Because, the powers that be, I already told you earlier, they have us looking and sounding crazy. They go out of their way to have us looking and sounding crazy. So if history has taught us nothing, it's taught us this. If you don't tell your own story, your story will be told for you. So this is me telling our story. In the event if I don't have breaking news, what I usually do in place of that, if there's nothing I feel is really worth talking about, because there's always news. Like, news happens every day, whether it's covered by the press or not. But if I feel it's like nothing worth talking about, I might just do a PSA for that week. And a PSA, just something in our community, something we need to work on as a people, myself included, or myself especially. It's usually myself especially. But yeah, I actually do have something to cover today, an actual some breaking news topic that I want to deliver my commentary on. So let's get into it right now. Just a second. I just took some brief notes because I'm really just going to go off the cuff with this because there's so many things I can interconnect with this story. So I didn't really like take down all the super details. I really just took the brother's name and, basically what the gist of what happened. So, speaking point of the day is about Jordan Neely. So Jordan Neely was this brother in the infamous NYC subway system, their mode of transportation. So it goes down. If you've seen the videos, if you've actually been to New York, you know. They got some of the most horrendous things happen on their mass transit system, and unfortunately, like stories like Jordan Neely's is not a common thing. Like you can get like really killed on their mass transit system. You can lose your life just trying to get point A to point B. And that's anybody, all people, like Caucasian, Spanish, Howard people, whoever. You can get it on a train. You can really get it on a train. And unfortunately, our brother got it on the train. So basically, Jordan Neely was homeless, a homeless man. He is a Michael Jackson impersonator. Performs on Times Square for tips, and he was taking the train, and as the story goes, he was being boisterous and obnoxious on the train. They said he was asking people for money loudly, and I'm gonna stop right there. It's kind of funny that white people call us loud. So if you're speaking, and it's funny because, not funny in the good way, not funny as in comical, funny as in ironic. So, we have the spirits of our ancestors in us, even though we didn't live through slavery. But they have the spirits of their ancestors in them as well. And it's kind of funny to me when anytime a white person calls a black person or original man or original woman loud. Because typically when they do that, when they call them loud or accuse them of yelling at them, that is the spirit of their ancestors coming through. Because the spirit of their ancestors were slave owners. And, they're being authoritative on a subconscious level, trying to dictate how, the optics of what is loud. What they perceive as loud or perceive as you yelling at them. But anyway, there was I haven't heard of any audio clips of Jordan Neely being, boisterous, overly boisterous on the train. I'm pretty sure some will surface pretty soon. So the guy that killed him is a guy named Daniel Penny, and he's an ex-Marine, 24 years old. I don't know how you 24 and an ex-Marine, so he wasn't too good at that, because usually when people leave that, branch of the military, they usually leave highly decorated. Like there was at least a first officer or private first class. So he wasn't even a private first class. So he kind of sucked as a Marine. But nevertheless, they do have combat skills, They're trained to kill. They're trained in many different fighting disciplines, and the guy basically put them in a chokehold using some type of it was looking like a leg lock, so some type of Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I'm going to say I'm not like a big MMA buff, but I'm going to say it was some type of unarmed fighting technique, some type of fighting discipline that was incorporated there. So it wasn't meant to restrain him. So that like the move that he put him in wasn't meant to restrain him. That was a submission hold. The type of hold he put him in, because he did a leg lock around his neck. That's a submission hold. So it wasn't a restraint thing. It wasn't trying to restrain him. Because for one, he wasn't doing nothing to, need restraining. Asking people for money, this is like another cultural thing. Caucasian people don't mind their business. Like if he wasn't physically assaulting people, if he's just asking money or being loud, that's not your job. If the conductor didn't come back and stop the train and tell him to chill out or get off, why do you as a citizen feel the need to go up to him and put your damn hands on him? That's first and foremost. Mind your business. Like a whole bunch of culturally, white people got a hard time minding their own business. Like we got all these Karen and Kens that send brothers to their early graves because they don't know how to mind their damn business. Like, mind your business. Who asked you to do that? Are you the block captain? Who's asking you to enforce these rules? Why do you feel you personally have to enforce a rule? I can see if it's a life or death situation, if he was wielding a gun or wielding a knife. Nothing. He posed no threat. He was just being loud and obnoxious. Like, pull out your phone, ignore him, drown him out, walk away from him. If he's getting on your nerves that bad, walk away. Move to a different seat. Or better yet, just give him some damn money if he was begging. What's like $2 or $3? If it'd get him to shut up. I mean, like, if you're going to do charity work, I got to back up at work. If you're going to do charity work, you got to you get it back the way you give it. So if you give grudgingly, you're going to get it back grudgingly. So always give with a good heart. Don't just be like throwing money at people like, you know what I mean? But, yeah, it could have been just a simple, here's $1, $2. He's a street performer, so he's used to living off tips, people giving him money. So I don't understand why, if people were so distraught at his behavior on the bus, why couldn't they just all gave him $1 to sit down and chill out? It had to be over 10, 20 people in the cart that they was in where the incident happened. Like, why didn't somebody just give him a couple of dollars? Like, here, chill out. Yo, man, hey, you hungry? Where are you getting off? There's so many non-violent ways to de-escalate that somebody getting on your nerves. Because that was his only crime, was him being irritating. Like, I know mentally sometimes you do want to choke somebody out that irritates you. But this is why you must use emotional intelligence. He acted out of emotion and killed that man because he was irritating him, because he was bothering him. And he didn't have the intent to restrain, he had the intent to kill. He got so angry, he killed him. He allowed his emotions to overtake him. that and the fact that he's clearly racist, and everybody defending him that's not, one of our people. I'm pretty sure one of our people will surface as the story drags on defending them. I saw the whole thing. It's always one of our people. Somebody's going to come out the woodwork and say he did nothing wrong, this guy. But like I said about the water or earlier, that's the spirits of his ancestors in him being authoritative, trying to tell us what we can and cannot do, what is being loud, because it was a time where we couldn't say nothing. It was a time where we weren't allowed to read. It was a time where we weren't allowed to speak above a whisper. It was a time where we weren't allowed to make eye contact with them. And so when a Caucasian person does that, that's the spirit of their ancestors in them. Whether they want to concede to it, whether they realize it or not, when they're being overly authoritative to us, calling us loud, calling us aggressive, they're really good for that, saying we're loud and aggressive, or that we accuse us of yelling. And that's something they primarily do to our sisters. They call them angry black women. And so if a brother is masculine and asserts his masculine male dominance, they'll usually say he's angry, or he's being loud, or he was yelling at me, when he's just, talking above a whisper. Yelling is, ah! That's yelling. You know what I mean? Like most Caucasian people think because you talk above a whisper, you're yelling or you're being loud. But yeah, there was a spirit of his ancestors doing that. Daniel Penny, he deserved to get prosecuted to the full extent of the law. He deserves to get put under the jailhouse. The man posed no threat to him. So he had ex-military training. Obviously, his military training was still intact. He seemed to be in peak physical condition. So me said all that to say he was more than a match for Jordan Wheely. He could have subdued him there's so many non-lethal submission takedown techniques he could have incorporated. The one he particularly used was a submission hold. And that's what it's designed for, to make the opponent submit. Submit or die. Like, say you give up or you're going to die. So another thing that bothered me about that situation is all the onlookers. Like, people, we got that bad in society. We'll pull our phone out, but we won't intervene. So there's people pulling their phone out, capturing the footage. There's one guy in a video clip I seen that's saying, "Hey man, I think you're killing him." He boo-booed on himself. And when you're in a fight and you lose control of your bodily function, the fight's over. They got the old saying, "Oh, you knocked the piss out of them." And they actually take a leak on themselves. You hit them so hard, that next blow that you deal probably will kill them, because that's an involuntary, reaction, like an unresponsive nervous reaction. If you lose your bodily functions in a fight, that means you done got hit so hard, it done disrupted your, your brain. Your brain controls your bodily functions. So, if they hit you so hard, you lose your bodily functions, that it done cause some type of nerve damage. So the next blow that you deal could be fatal. That's why you always must maintain emotionally intelligence and never fight unless it is like that. Unless it is you jumped over the bridge of talk it down, let's de-escalate, let's talk it out. Is it all that big? Is it all that really that serious? Unless they took that off the table, then by all means defend yourself. But if let's talk it out, it's still on the table, or let's try to do something to de-escalate this before it gets to that point. If that's still on the table, use that, because you can, like, if you're not a trained fighter, you don't know what type of anger you got bubbling and festering inside of you. If you hit somebody and you're not trained to fight, you don't like just get in fights every single day. You can like literally kill somebody, like rupture a vein in their head, and it's a done data. Or hit them so hard they hit the concrete, they smack the concrete so hard they die or snap their neck. Like, you got to think before you pull that pistol, and you got to think before you throw them dukes up. So Jordan Neely clearly did not. He only had one intention on his mind, which is killing a brother that he knew was weaker than, because he's a coward. The guy was homeless. He can look at him and see he wasn't a physical match for him. They don't never want to pick on somebody that's going to give them a run for their money. And he got a whole bunch of supporters saying, free him. I'm seeing that online. People standing outside the jailhouse with the walking where the incident took place. Free Jordan Neely and all that. Or not Jordan Neely, excuse me. The guy that killed him, Daniel Penny. Because it wasn't justified. It was not justified. No matter what angle you're looking at it from, that was not justified. He should have just kept his damn hands to himself. If it was irritating him that bad, like walked away. Like white people love calling the police. Why didn't you use your cell phone? Call a cop. Tell the conductor to stop the train. This guy's being unruly. Get him off. He needs to be off. But no, you sit up there and try to be authoritative, acting like you run something. You don't run nothing. You don't own the train system. It's not your business. It's not your property. People got the right to do stuff, whether you believe they have the right or not in this country. I thought we still lived in America. You got the right of freedom of choice, freedom of speech. But when it comes to our people, we don't got freedom of speech. Even though he was being loud and disruptive, there's so many avenues you can do. You could have just moved away from him. You didn't have to entertain him. And it sounds like our brother has some mental health issues as well. Of course, being homeless, most homeless people do. Most homeless people are not, violent. And if they are loud and obnoxious like that, it's because they have mental health issues. So, another thing, my last little thing about this story, and then I'm going to wrap it up and go to my last section. That bothers me about this story is the fact he's an ex-military vet, and he's just ex-military. He ain't no vet because he didn't make it to private first class or nothing. He was just a guy that served. You ain't get no credit. I don't know why. What do they call it? Stolen valor. You got stolen valor, buddy. You don't get to call yourself a vet if you don't have it. You leave the institution without no title. But anyway, it's kind of funny to me that in this country you call it a patriot for being racism. Like, patriotism was really like code for racists. Because, in the old school military, they can call you the N-word, hard R, back in the day. You can degrade and demean somebody in the military with no you know, no repercussions. You won't get in trouble. Like that was primarily like why a whole lot of Caucasian people served in the military from like the turn of the century, the 1900s, all the way up until probably like now. I don't think they start putting these human services things in place in the military until like the early 2000s. You could like really degrade somebody, degrade a black person, call them the N-word, dehumanize them, eat their food, smack them in the face, all kinds of stuff. And, nothing happened to them. So, like, that's just another thing that bothered me about this case, because, like, people, racists hide under the guise of patriotism. I'm a patriot. I'm an American. I'm an American. I'm an American patriot. And they fly the American flag, and, but then they hate people that built the country. They can't stand the people that built the country, but they flying the American flag. And if it wasn't for us, there would be no American flag. So what does it say? Liberty and justice for all. For all. You flying that American flag talking about you a patriot, it's liberty and justice for all. But you hate the people that built the country. So how are you a patriot if you hate the people that built the country? But that's it, and that's all with that. That was just my commentary on it. Classic textbook racism. He used, he used the opportunity. He seized the opportunity to kill an original man, and the original man that was physically weaker, somebody that he knew he could beat. And he took it. He seized it like most of them cowards do. And so now this brother's just gone now. Wasn't messing with nobody. Was just trying to probably get some food. Get him a couple of dollars for a room or some food. But he lost his life because white people were saying he was being too loud. All right, so here we go, wrapping up. On to the final section of my podcast. This section is called my final thought or the final word. A final thought or final word of the day is basically a gem, a pearl of wisdom, something wise, something insightful, something to resonate with you. Some game or whatever you want to call it, some free game, or just, something to resonate with you, something to evoke critical thought, just something to think about, something to put on your mind. That's why I call it the final thought of the day. So sometimes I change it up, I say the final word of the day, but, I don't know. I flip that between thought and words. Some episodes I say final word. Today I'm saying final thought. But my last section, nevertheless. So my final thought of the day is take it as good as you get it. Because often online, especially in this digital era we live in, people love getting online. They love giving relationship advice. They love giving, what I'm doing right now, tips and gems and pearls of wisdom. They love being insightful and love sounding wise and sounding like they got the answer. And, they love to point out and give their observation and perspective. But they hate when somebody, gives their perspective, has the opposing view on their situation. Can't stand it. You're doing too much. Mind your own damn business. Who are you? Who are you anyway? You know what I mean? So be able to take it as good as you get it. Or take it as good as you give it, excuse me. Because, people can dish it out, but they can't take it. Because, especially people like roasting. Like, you ever see a roast battle gone bad? Like, they getting on their head and it's usually somebody that ain't said nothing to them, somebody really trying to ignore them. And then when they get to clapping back, then they want to square up and fight. So you got to be able to take it. Like, don't dish it out if you can't take it. So, like, you like being wise and like being insightful and like pointing out other people's inconsistencies and idiosyncrasies. Be prepared for when somebody comes at you and critiques you in your situation. Don't get mad, because ain't nobody above critiquing. Take it. Even if nobody asks their opinion. File it in the back of their mind. Maybe that is something I need to work on. Don't get mad. Take it as an opportunity. Take it as a teachable moment. Because you might be surrounding yourself around people that don't tell you the truth. And just telling you what you want to hear. And then often when we hear the truth, we get angry. Get mad at the person that says it. And then later when we're all alone and thinking to ourselves, get mad at ourselves because what they said was true. So don't dish it out if you can't take it. That's my final word of the day. And now this episode of the Narrator Podcast has concluded. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Sending out love, light, healing energy. Have a great Mother's Day tomorrow. Let that lady know you appreciate her, love her, spoil her. All your, like if you don't got a mom, your auntie, your grandma, whatever female, your cousin, whatever female was responsible for raising you, whatever female in your family that you appreciate, for all they do, let them feel love tomorrow. They deserve it. Like, there's nothing more precious than the love of a mother, than a nurturing, loving mother. There's no feeling on the planet better than that you can gain more euphoria from than the honest, real deal love of a mother. There's nothing like it. Nothing could equate to it. Having somebody really care and really love you and want nothing from you, only the best for you. And it'll take a mother to do that. So no disrespect to the fathers, because the fathers, they have love too, but their love is more strength. Their love is more discipline and strength, and how to teach you how to walk upright and do a righteous walk. Like, there's some nurturing fathers out there too that then took their time and had to raise some females, fathers, some nurturing big brothers, some nurturing uncles. But nothing on the planet equates to the love of a mother. And tomorrow, make sure that woman loves you, because when she's gone, you'll never experience that type of love again. not in this physical lifetime, not in this physical form, you will never experience it again. So make sure that you get across to that woman, to that reared you and raised you, that that love is real and reciprocated, and that you appreciated it for everything that she tried to do for you. So yeah, appreciate all mothers. What else? Download this episode and our previously recorded episodes of the Narrator podcast to support your boy. So help my podcast platform grow bigger. Download this episode, our previously recorded episodes, as well as like and share and all that good stuff. But the downloads is what really wins it for me. Also follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter. When you do this, I go live probably like Monday through Thursdays. I do a live episode of the Narrator podcast. So to avoid missing a live edition of it, follow me on YouTube and Twitter. And I'm Hallzie Allen on both of those. So I'm Hallzie Allen on YouTube. Click the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you won't ever miss me when I'm broadcasting live. And then also it broadcasts directly to Twitter when I'm live. So follow me on either one of those platforms, and you will not miss a live edition of the Narrator podcast. Also, I've written a book titled The Black Card. It is a book of poetry. It's 30 poems, 30 insightful poems about the entire experience of our people. Everything we go through, positive and negative, super creative, super insightful. Go do yourself a tremendous favor and go purchase that. You can purchase your copy of the Black Card in the Poetizer bookstore on poetizer.com, and it's again the Black Card. Go get your copy today. And then also I write poetry. I got my own personal poetry blog. It's titled Hallzie's Poetry Corner. The email address is Hallzie's Poetry Corner, or www.mrhallzieblog.com on blogger.com. The name of my blog is Hallzie's Poetry Corner. My tagline for that is Hallzie's Poetry Corner, poetry with a passion, poetry for all occasions. And then when you read one, you'll find out why. Support that. You support it by sharing poems from that link at www.mrhallziepoems or www.mrhallzieblogs.com. Go to that link and share poems from Hallzie's Poetry Corner to your preferred platform, like whatever platform you're active on, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Tumblr, WordPress, whatever, digital space you occupy. Go share a poem from Hallzie's Poetry Corner on, all platforms. And, I got all kinds of projects coming up. I know I kind of say that all the time, but I'm really for real in the finishing stages and some stuff I'm working on, and will have the pleasure of sharing with you very soon. So keep on supporting your boy for right now. Keep on supporting your brother. I call myself a boy. Keep on supporting your brother right now on this audio platform, the Narrator podcast, and tune in like you're in for a real treat. Just keep on supporting, keep on telling a friend to tell a friend. Keep checking me out every single weekend. Wherever you get your podcast from, stay locked, stay glued to it, because you never know when I go live. But yeah, keep checking me out. The Narrative Podcast, Hallzie Allen on the Narrative Podcast. All wrapped up. This one's a rapper dapper. Sending you peace. Sending positive energy, prosperity, channeling love vibes, peace, prosperity, healing energy, light and love. Till the next time, family. Hallzie Allen and the Narrative Podcast. Signing off. Darn it. And it's like that.